Let's see, this is Wednesday. Hello. Wednesday, October 23, 2024. And I thought I would bring the new Pocket 3 camera out and walk around the yard and take a look at the fall colors because I've been kind of neglect about doing that, and primarily because we just haven't had any rain. I think we've only had one rain since I got back from the farm back in the end of July, and it's been just bone dry ever since. And it got cold. We had our first frost, so I figured the fall colors are starting in, and kind of gave up on watering things. I forgot to water this new bush right down here, this petite arborvitae, and so hope I didn't wait too long to get it refurbished again. We do have a couple of berries coming up on our blue holly here. This blue holly's always been giving us troubles. It just doesn't really want to take off and grow like the others. They either grow or they die. They don't have much in between. So that's Somerset maple. We have 7 of them in the yard, and just gonna kind of walk around here, try to get ourselves established and see what we got. Now that tree in the far straight ahead is a maple that belongs to the neighbor. I think it's an autumn blaze maple and seeds, and it's turning very colorful and it's gotten huge. These are our Somersets. They don't get as tall as these, although they're all both planted about the same time. So these are turning a twinge of color, but then I looked in the backyard yesterday and I saw 2 of our maples had really gotten overgrown with color, overdone, and they looked better yesterday and the sun was on them. I think I got out here a little bit too late to do full justice to these trees. They looked really good, and at the moment we don't really have many leaves on the ground, surprisingly, seeing how dry it's been. These are the wintergreen fuchsias, and they're getting bigger. They're taller than me now. And we got an old grill in the backyard, the one up with silver on it, up by the window, and the new one. The old one's falling apart, so in November, the week before Thanksgiving, I get to take it out to the curb and they'll haul it off for me. And there's a little more sunlight down there. You can see a little better what it looks like. And burning bushes are starting to come colors, which is good. And these are the North Pole arborvitaes. And if I can get up here close enough to it, that's arm length even with me, right there. My first time really walking around the yard in daylight with this camera to see what it's like. And I've done some nighttime shooting with it just to test out the different camera settings on it. And I think I better, at the rate things are turning color, probably need to come out here at least once a week and do another blast of the yard, see what's going on. And about that time, I'll be mowing and chopping leaves. This is another North Pole we had. It had some issues at the bottom with multiple trunks, so I got rid of them all at one time instead of doing one a year. And figured we'll just let her go and see what happens. This blue holly has grown like crazy over the years, and this little blue holly down here has grown, but it's not exactly where we want it to be. It's new last year. It died and we had to be replaced. This one over here is also new this year because it had died and been replaced. We can get them to grow 1 year, and in the second year they die. So we don't know what's up with that. Up in here you can see this Somerset is still very green, with just barely turning colors. But these 2 in the middle here, they seem to always turn color first and their leaves fall off first, and then we get to see our neighbors again. These are more blue Somerset maples up there, and I'm going to just come around here and climb up the steps and see what we got here. See, basically I'm trying to also find out, is this camera steady when you walk around or not? So there's our garden. Basically we had carrots and kohlrabies. That's what we had this year. And they seem to be doing pretty good. About the only thing that really grows out here, because they're there, but that ground turns dry really quick if you don't stay on top of it. So we're up here, and I don't really have a way to pause this, so I just gotta walk down here. This is the forsythia. Its leaves fell off, and now it thinks it's spring again and it's trying to regrow. This is the fire glow maple memorial tree in our yard, and it looks really good in the spring and it turns a dull red as we approach the fall. More thusias, and these have grown taller than the other ones. They get more shade, and I think they hold the water better, and they take off pretty good. So these two maples, this one here and the one to the next of it, and the one over here just under the sun back there, they were all planted at the same time, and they were basically bare root. And the other maples we have were all smart pots. They came with velvet bags with really heavily branched roots. And if you'll see, you can see there's more branching, bushier tree branch structure in here than there are on these maples. Probably see it better on this one. These are more spread out because the roots weren't really super spread when we got it. That one's probably next year it'll be as tall as the house. And I had to keep cutting it back every year to keep it from getting too close to the house. So here we go around the side yard. Here's the male of the blue hollies, which is the pollinator for the females. It's a gimbal on this camera, so it's swiveling around trying to keep up with me. But I guess I need to look at the screen a little better, see what I'm getting. And there's a little delay on it. Maybe I should increase the speed on it so it catches around faster. Okay, because we've had some contrails going by up overhead. Big ones up there. There's virtually very little clouds out there, which is the way it's been all summer. Okay, this is the North Pole. This is our first North Pole. And we used to be able to put Christmas lights up to the top, but now it's over the gutter, as you can see. So we can only put them up so far on a ladder, and then we stop. And I bought a bag of dirt to plant a tree and got the tree planted. Didn't need the dirt, so I got to put that bag somewhere. I don't want to store it all winter. So here we are. I'll just back out here anyhow because I got to get the mail. And we'll get the front of the house. I had a lot of trouble at nighttime with the carriage lights on the camera. They caused the camera to really kind of freak out. That if you turn from dark to light, then it did some weird stuff. But it got a firmware update. That needs to be tested out again. Mail day. So I'll take this and we'll go back in and see how it's doing. There's Jerry's car. Okay. Well, Cindy just noticed that the time of the day makes a big difference on these trees. And it is still the same day, October 23, Wednesday. And in the backyard, you can see that sun is really bringing out the color in the Somerset maples. Okay, I'll just tack this onto the other piece. Catch you later. Here we are, Saturday, October 26th, and thought I'd walk around the yard again. Been a couple of days, and see how much change in the colors we've had. We've had two little instances of a small amount of rain, just like basically 1/10 of an inch one day and a 0.13 inches overnight. So this maple, this Somerset, is starting to come on. And it's getting taller. You can see it's up there by the roof now. Next year it'll be over the house. It'll be at the roof peak next year. And just not enough rain. Everything's still so brown out here. I don't know if I'm panning too fast because I'm still very, very new at this. But it's a wide angle lens, and I feel like I'm just a little bit too close. But the colors are now coming on much stronger than they were. And down there you can see the wintergreen thujas, the memorial tree, the blue holly, the messy porch. We do have some leaves coming down, and I have just made arrangements. Well, we have a guy who weed whacks a yard, and I've asked him if he would mind mowing the yard the next 3 weeks. He said he'd be happy to. He's got a big mower. He can mulch up these leaves in no time flat. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and bring my mower out probably Monday, Tuesday, and get after these leaves right here so they're not all coming down at one time. By Sunday, Monday, there'll be a pile of leaves down here because this is probably the prime day, and I'm shooting right into the kind of the sun here. I don't have a sunscreen on. I probably should have put a ND filter on, but I didn't. So, like I said, we're still testing everything out. Shooting into the sun. Let's come around some more. Just going to turn like this a second because I think if I go like this, yeah, here I am into the top of this wintergreen right here. Can you see it? And it's tracking my face, unfortunately. And it makes it hard tracking my face for it to get up there to the top. Unless I bend down, then I kind of defeat the purpose. So that's not working. Okay, let's get out of there. Here we go. A lot of colors up here today, but you can already see the maple on the back, which is the first one to come on, is starting to thin out a little bit. Oh well, unfortunately they don't last forever. They come and they go. Just like that poem by Keats, "In the room, the women come and go," speaking of Michelangelo. Okay, here we go. Okay, probably should have walked around this way this time because dogwoods. Because the sun would have been in my back most of the time. Crepe myrtle, it's about to come to an end. And here's somebody out there. And we'll come to the front yard. I can do time lapse on here. I can do slow and fast to get an idea of what it's like. Okay, I think that's kind of... Hello, Wednesday the 28th, October, and we'll give it another try. Fall is upon us, and the leaves are turning more yet. Even the front tree is beginning to come about now. I'm going to just walk around the yard here because I'm going to be mowing here shortly, but give you an idea of the backyard, what I'm looking into. Oh, the one tree is already losing leaves way back there. Okay, we'll come around here. I changed the gimbal setting. I think right now I turned the camera a little bit and turned the camera here a little bit. It was about 45-degree angle, and the ground seems to be still level in front of me. So maybe that'll keep a level horizon. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Considering the Ace Pro 3, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 that just came out, and compare that to the Action 5 that I swapped out with Best Buy because the other one had such a dark screen in the back late at night. It was a black bar across the middle. So it's on probation. The Ace Pro 2 I can get without a case, and I can compare those side by side, see how they do. We're starting to get leaves on the ground. I've made arrangements for the guy who weed whacks our yard to come and burning bushes are starting to come out a little bit. I put a neutral density filter on here, and I don't know if it's too much. It was sunny when I looked out the window, and now it's cloudy out here. So anyhow, I have a guy who's going to mow the yard for 3 weeks, and while he's doing that, I'm also going to help him to grind up leaves and mulch them. I just won't get as close to everything as I need to because he's going to do that. And together, we'll get these leaves done before the fall harvest comes in, the fall comes in. And next thing on the order will be, putting up the Christmas lights as soon as they get their Halloween out of the way. So a lot of stuff going on in the backyard. That one's thinning out already. That one thins first. This one comes second. This tree is now popping pretty good, but I'm on the wrong side for the sun. So I come around here and look up at it. What do I get if I do that? I get a little more sunlight on it. There's a little more sunlight on it. So I can look up that way. Okay. I guess you could walk with this thing up and hold it upside down. And what happens if I do that? It's still got the ground level. You get those low camera shots down there. Well, now I got the thing upside down right now, walking around wondering what I'm getting. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's bring it around. Okay, let's turn it around. That's very center of that gimbal. We'll come around to the front. These are doing. We got rain coming about Wednesday, and then Halloween looks like it's going to be clear. And then we have more rain coming in over the weekend, and we might get 1.5 inches of rain out of it, which would be very welcome for these guys. They're in desperate need of it. Okay, well, I think that's going to about conclude today. Today's job is to start working on the leaves because we're all going to come down in batches. I thought when we got the Somersets, they would all come down at one time, but I thought wrong. They all come and do it slightly different times. I need to get rid of that bag of dirt. Okay, catch you later. Wednesday, October 30. I think this is the third time we'll be walking around the yard. Trees are turning really fast and they're falling off in the backyard. And the Somerset in the front yard tends to become a little more red than the ones in the backyard. And on the very far end down the street, that's a Somerset maple too, but it's a different variety called the Brandywine. It's also a seedless maple all the way down on the right. And it's just a regular maple that's shedding leaves down there. The big scary guy is down. Bandit's going to be really happy when that guy goes bye-bye. Actually, he'll be really happy in a couple days when all this nighttime shenanigans goes bye-bye. My hat is falling off. Hold it. I said, hold it. Oh, that's going to have to be an edit. What happened there? Hand on my head. Okay, we go now. What happened there, huh? I have to hold my hat on my head or we're going to get really blown off here. Okay, back to the front, or back to the backyard looking forward. So kind of have it in a kind of a somewhat follow mode. Where I'm pointed is where it's trying to stay level and focused on. Red maples. This boy's turning colors. And you can see the leaves all over the place out here. I mowed 2 days ago. You barely know it now. I mean, it's not that the grass is going, but the leaves are gone. So there's one tree down, another tree back there gone. A windy day like today and yesterday, really blowing the leaves out here. So I won't mow this time. Jonathan will mow, and we will let him go around. And then we got about 2 inches of rain coming. So I might be mowing maybe next Wednesday, something like that. We'll see how it goes. I could mow, but I got other things to do today. I'm busy testing cameras and other things are on my mind. The things are looking good, but boy, this guy, he just came on strong and then he's gone. They just don't last that long. These two guys are the first two to always go. In a couple days, they'll be going. And this one, these first maples were the ones that turn a little redder. And then the memorial tree, it never really does totally lose its leaves. It loses most of the leaves, but there's still always a remnant of the leaves all winter long. How we doing there, big boy? Yep, windy up there, huh? Very, very windy. And now we got a pot on here in the grass. I have a neutral density filter on here. It's the lowest one. I forget what it is. I think it's an 8, which is like, I don't know how many f-stops that is, but a couple f-stop changes. And here we are back to the front again. This is usually where we start and stop. So Christmas lights start going up after Halloween. Bye-bye now. Okay, well, this is the Pocket 3 camera, and I got to go back out and do some changes here because I discovered that I had a few things that weren't quite on the up and up with it, and so I need to get around the yard and take pictures of it again, too. The thing was I had the EV setting at plus 0.3 instead of minus 0.3 because it's so hard to read the little screen. I didn't notice it. And I also had a sun filter screen on it, a neutral density filter, that I forgot to take off, especially when I was shooting those nighttime shots. So some of that has to be tested again in order to get some decent results to compare with the other cameras. So we'll go around the yard again. Okay, UPS just came and left with the box. See, I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was the wrong box. We've had wrong boxes shipped to our house, and we've had boxes shipped to neighbors' houses here this past week. Okay, so around we go. I put the DJI mic on because it was a 8-mile-an-hour wind out here, and I'm going into the wind right now. We'll kind of get an idea of what that's like. I came and mowed the yard yesterday, and as you can see, a lot of these leaves have come down in just maybe 4 days since I was out here last. Quite a big difference in the amount of leaves that we have left in the yard to display. Quite a bit of difference. So he did a good job getting up the leaves, and we'll let him continue. He forgot to get his check, though. It was under the front porch, so he never picked it up. Gee, the burning bushes are coming along quite nicely, and I don't think the kohlrabi is going to make it in time. We've had 3 little frosts already. I just don't think it's going to be able to do it in time. Those kohlrabi are past prime, and they are suffering. It's really a clear day with clouds. 2.5 inches of rain coming starting tomorrow, and the heaviest being on Monday. So I'll have to get out here again. probably won't, myself, I won't get out till about Wednesday, but this tree is gone. That tree is halfway gone. That tree is 2/3 gone. This tree is gone. And the burning bush are just really getting started. They'll be priming out here any day now. And these blue hollies, sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. That one's new this year. That one was new last year. They get to the second year and then they tend to die out. We're just going to let that one go and see what happens, see if it comes back. Forsythia. And here we are with the maples coming. So the side yard's doing a little better. And this little North Pole arborvitae is probably big enough to put one strand of lights on it here shortly. That's coming up next, right after the elections and all this is over. We'll be working on the lights. Okay, we're coming around. Very bright. I'm going to go into the shade here. Now we're in the shade. And this tree still has quite a ways to go. It's probably 2/3 left to go. And it's starting to pile up on the ground. And the same with that one. These are the ones that were not in the smart pots. They were on their own. Okay, coming around the front, we're also testing how smooth the gimbal works, whether or not this is the camera to keep or the camera to return. Okay, coming around. He's too big to put the lights on all the way to the top. Can't get up that high anymore. And that branch on the right, after the leaves come off, I'm going to bring that lower right branch down and try to evenly space this tree out. Okay. And there's the front porch, shooting into the shade. How's it look? New little tree, looks like it's doing okay. That's the petite arborvitae. So that concludes this one. And we'll catch you on the next one. Today is Saturday, November 23. And I'm going to take the last section of the colors of the trees, changing color this fall. And as you can see in the front, there are very few trees left that have any color. And I've just finished mowing the yard, and you can see that they're all picked up and swept up pretty much, put away. We've got all the lights up outside, with the exception of 2 new we bought yesterday, put on the back porch. And I'm going to walk around out there now, see what they look like. They're not up, but I mean, to see what the trees look like in the backyard. So we're all swept up, vacuumed up, mulched up, put the lawnmower away, kind of drained the gas out of the bowl. So last time it'll be started this year. Red buds, they're slow to fall off. They take a long time, but you can see the maple here. Actually, you can see from here, all the maples in the backyard, they're pretty well gone now. You could say that it's a thing of the past. And the thujas are looking great. So there's a little bit of garden left here yet. Let's see, this gets thrown away Wednesday. This old barbecue, it's not working. And a couple of other items get thrown out also. But the garden's still got kohlrabi. Who knows? Maybe they're surviving some light frost. Maybe they'll just make it far enough and we'll pull the carrots out all at one time. But these kohlrabi were past their prime. Well, maybe some of them aren't, but these are way past their prime, you can see. Carrots are past their prime. This is an old burner. I got rid of the top part of it earlier. This thing right here, that is. And that's the new one. That one's going to get tried out here very shortly with a branch in the front yard. that I'm going to be cutting off. So these two railings here, they don't have any lights on them. We didn't think about it, but we bought 2 lights for them yesterday. So I'm going to put them up and get them down. The blue holly's filled out. And Cindy came out yesterday, around 2 days ago, when the burning bushes were in their glory. She took a picture from the back door. And if I can get that picture inserted into the video, I'll probably do it right about here just so you get an idea of what that did look like here not too long ago. So I'm going to be looking into the sun. There's Lainey, and way down there you can see her thujas, and they finally took off this year. They finally got going. She planted hers the same year we planted ours. So those are thujas. Ours are wintergreen thujas. They don't grow as tall, they don't grow as fast, and they don't grow as wide. So they're tall and skinnier. Okay. So the maples are come and gone. The North Poles right here, the one in the front yard too, they're too small for lights this year. Next year we'll put lights on them. So I've got to go buy some more lights once I see how these new lights are going to work. Forsythia, blue holly. This one's brand new this year. That one was brand new last year in between the trees. After 2 years, they die. We don't know why. The same spot. Nothing grows here, azaleas or blue hollies. So I'm not sure what we're going to do next year, but I'm going to get rid of them both. We'll see what survives. Leaves are gone. And thuja's looking pretty good. So this one is gone as well. Now the Japanese holly, this is the fire glow maple. It's way past its prime. It was fire glow red earlier in the spring. And as the summer comes on, it kind of gets a bronze colored look to it, dull. And it'll probably be February before it finally gives up the ghost and sheds the last of those leaves. So that maple's gone. He's packed it up for the year. This is the male holly. Pollinates the other hollies in the yard. He got a haircut. And this is the North Pole. And this boy is now up over the gutter. Can't get any higher. There's Bandit the dog. He's coming out. And our guest, he's there in the yard. So these are the lights we put up here this week. I'll come back out tonight and take pictures of these lights when they're all lit up. Is that okay, Mr. Bandit? He says, okay. All righty. And I think that wraps up this outdoor shoot. And we'll call it quits here. We got the neighbors are all gone too. Way out there in the distance, you probably can't see it. There's a few trees left, mostly oak out there. All righty, we'll stop here. You think that's okay, Mr. Bandit?
It's done.
Okay. Fall mowing is over.
That's good.
Saturday, November 23rd, and just shot the outside of the house today, doing the last of the fall colors, and thought I'd come out and shoot the Christmas lights that we've been putting up here this last week, and wrap up the fall holiday colors with Christmas cheer. So we just finished this up. It was really cold when we got this done, cold and windy. Colder and windier for our friends on the West Coast who went through a mess this week. Thought we'd come around and do the backyard since we're at it, and just put some new lights up today on the back railings. And we have these older lights here on the back, and we're beginning to wonder, they're about 6, 7 years old, how much longer they're going to last. And so I think we're thinking ahead for next year. we're testing out new lights, and we'll be probably replacing these next year with new lights that we got that are up in the railings right there, or something like that. The blue holly all lit up. And these are the brand new lights. They kind of match the solar light panels that are on the top of the poles right here. They're awful white, whiter than I expected, but I guess that's the way things are going. So they also make colored lights, and probably it's time to start thinking about changing over our colored lights. These are not as old, but they only last so long. Okay, hope you enjoyed this series. I had fun making it, editing it, and putting it up, and part of it was used to help us determine which camera to get. Okay, catch you later. Have a Merry Christmas.